Hello everybody, it's Mr. Johnson. I hope you guys are all doing well. I just wanted to take this next video to kind of show you the changes that have been made for Blackboard, and before you freak out, don't worry. Things are not as complicated as they are. In fact, I think moving forward these will be it'll be a little bit challenging probably this first week because you're getting used to a new system, but everything is very straightforward, and I've tried to make it as easy as possible. Without further ado, let me just kind of introduce you to what I'm doing right now. If you're in Blackboard, you know that you have your respective section. You're all in COM 114, but I've distinguished each section, right, because I teach more than one class, 552, 547. If you're in my 552 section, you are from 3:30 to 4:30, and vice versa, 547, you are 4:30 to 5:30. Both of your sections I have updated. They are exactly the same in every way except the colors. So no need for me to go through each one and say the same thing. So what I'm going to do, there's no preference whatsoever for why I'm choosing one over the other. I am just picking one. So here are some of the changes I've made. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can so not to bore you. The first thing I've done is create a general questions tab. And I've kind of given you some examples of what could potentially come up, but basically if you have a question at some point in the semester, email is completely fine with me. In fact, I encourage you to email me if you have questions. I am so far doing a great job, I think, organizing my email, but for many of you, probably the last thing you want is another email in your inbox. So I've created another option which will be chaos free. You can create a thread under this tab, and you could just say how to upload my group project, something like that. And you would just say whatever your thing is, as intelligibly as I have just done now. You just hit submit, and your question would then be posted here. And basically, if you've now uploaded your question, just someone goes in, and then someone can reply, again, to a very elegant response. So that is a way, and here's the cool thing. You can all do this. If you see a question that you want to answer, I've kind of put this in place in case you guys want to help each other out. I've also put this in place in case you have, like, you want to start talking about favorite superheroes. Oh, superheroes. I can't spell. And then I would put cap. You could literally just start a chat if you just want to have fun, and then just talk about your favorite superheroes. I have put this here so that you can engage with the class a little bit more. This is totally optional though, but this isn't a place if you want to ask questions. So that's a resource for you, including email. I will come back to this folder in just a moment. What I want to do is go to our new course documents. Everything related to the pretest and the post-test are the exact same thing. If you remember at the beginning of the semester, I gave you a pretest kind of assessing your knowledge about the course before you took it. I will give you one at the end of the semester regarding what you've learned so far, and that basically just helps the university see if we have done our jobs. But what is new is the course syllabus, and if you just click on the new document, just open it, what you will find is that anything new that I've mentioned is new is I've put it in red. And office hours are going to remain the same. I told you in an email that I'm trying to stick to Wednesdays being physically in the office. However, with the social distancing that's being every day updated, this very well will probably change at some point. So email me if you want to set up a time for a virtual appointment, but I will try to be in the office if at any point you do want to talk with me. But I also understand if you don't even want to leave your apartment or your home, that is totally fine. In fact, probably most of you can't because you're probably at home, so that is there in case. The only other things I've updated, I've noted that the Purdue Presentation Center is now online, so it's still available if you want to use it. I've also updated how absences work. You can check that out here. Basically, we will do, in addition to your outside communication activities and the activity points that I do in class, this will kind of take the place of attendance. So you'll have an activity you need to do or an assignment you need to do each week, and that, if you do it on time, counts as you being in class. If you don't do it, I can't give you time to make up for it just because it would be the equivalent of you missing class. So just keep that in the back of your heads. Nothing to cause you to fear, just keep in the back of your minds. Same idea, tardiness, if you don't do an assignment, then it's going to be treated as if you weren't in class, just because we're no longer in class. Those are the same. I've updated the activities, and I will go over that more in a little bit, but I've updated the activities. There's 4 options. There's also extra credit if you do a third outside communication activity, and then you also will have another option for extra credit that I will at some point figure out. I'm still figuring it out, but I will let you know what it is at some point. Not too far in the future. So that's the syllabus. If we come back to our Blackboard, you go to course schedule, and here's the new schedule. Open it up and click enable. I've kept what you've already done before, so you can kind of already rejoice and see the cool stuff you've done already. I have just made a note of kind of what happened on Friday. Basically, I canceled class 1 because I wanted you to have some time off and kind of take a deep breath, but the group briefing technically still happens. So the first group briefing has happened. We're just resorting to it being online. This is very important. I need you all to pay attention to this. I have given you comments on your briefings, and I've posted those comments to each of you for your groups, so you should all be able to see my comments. I need you to review those comments and apply those comments, and as a class you will continue to move forward with the group presentation. I will explain how that's going to work in just a moment, but for now just know that you should apply these comments. For one of my classes, I will not say which one, I am missing a group briefing. And you know who you are because I emailed you. There is no need to panic. I'm still willing to give you the points for it, but I need you to turn it in just as fast as you can so that I can give you these points and I can give you comments moving forward. So please do that ASAP. You'll notice then I break the schedule and I make it clear what's going on next. I have broken up the remaining weeks into weeks. So you know how before you had them day by day? Well, now it's broken up into weeks. I've also highlighted per week these certain parts that are in yellow. You're probably wondering what that means. Those are things that basically I will create assignments for on a week-by-week basis. So instead of being class, you'll complete assignments each week that will reflect basically if you were in class or not. And those are things that will be kind of assigned. I will create assignments each week for those. Each of the quizzes, you only have 2 quizzes left, which is awesome. They should both be multiple choice. I don't remember putting any answers in there, long answer types or short answer types, but those will be both due Fridays at 11:59 p.m. of their weeks. So this upcoming week, due by Friday at 11:59 p.m. Following week, Friday, 11:59 p.m. The asynchronous framework is due the 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Circuit. I will show you what that means in a few moments. And then the asynchronous presentation itself is due by the end of the week, Saturday, March 28th by 11:59 p.m. 28th. So midweek is your framework, and by the end of the week, the 28th, is the actual assignment itself. So this week it really isn't, if you've already done your presentation, you're really ahead of the game and you're going to be in great shape for this. Even if you haven't, it's okay. There really isn't going to be a ton to do. It might feel like a lot because it's the first week, but you have basically done, at this point, all the things you need to know for most of the rest of the semester. The only other things we're going to cover is this persuasive presentation, which we'll spend week 12 and week 13 working on, and we will have a second group briefing to get you prepared for your group presentations. Then you'll present your speeches. You're going to submit those asynchronously, and I've updated the assignment sheet to explain how you will do that, and I will explain that further on in the video when I assign you the persuasive presentation. But for now, this is just an overview. This just kind of shows you what we're doing so far. So once we've done that, this is all basic cool stuff. Your documents are updated. Under the outside communication activities, I've updated the survey is still an option, so you can do that. The Purdue Presentation Center is still open. The only thing different is that when you do it, it will be a virtual presentation, like a virtual meeting, and then the only way you would get credit for it is by uploading a screenshot of your email confirmation, you would just click on the assignment and then just write your submission or upload it here. And then you would also include you would upload the attached document minus the attendance signature, which is right here. So you would open this up, and for any of you who have done this, you would know that you would just kind of say, why did you do this? Why did you visit? And then kind of just summarize briefly what your experience was like, and 2 things, basically what you learned. Upload that, you're good to go. There's 2 other options. You can analyze a TED Talk. This has to at least be 10 minutes minimum, because I know some of you would just want to do a small one, like I would. 10 minutes minimum. Write a response to it. Fill out this sheet. Fill this out. It's very simple and straightforward. Please follow the directions. They're all right there. Same with the analyze 2-minute TED Talk, analyze 2 3-minute thesis talks. Basically what these are is you just click on the link right here, and it brings you to this page. Basically, the 3-minute thesis is this idea. It was founded by the University of Queensland, and what they do is they encourage people who are, pursuing their theses, whether an MA or PhD, basically to provide a 3-minute summary of what they did, and it's really cool. This one is the one I watched. It's about how tickling rats actually enhances scientific advances, which is really cool. So if you do it, again, it's only 3 minutes. See, 3 minutes. So you watch 2 of these. One of them's here. Past winners are right there. You would just click on those, and then you would respond. Oops. You would respond to the prompt, kind of like the TED Talk one. So respond to those. Those are good. These are your 4 options. Again, if you do 2 of them, those are both those outside communication activity points. That's 20 points total, 10 each. If you did a third one, if you did a third one, then that I will give you 4 extra credit points for that. Even if you did all 4, I unfortunately can't give you another 4. I'm sorry. I know many of you are excellent, overachieving students, but only 1 will provide you with extra credit. So then course content, come back here. We've reviewed those. The persuasive presentation is very similar. I've just updated the assignment sheet to indicate that it'll be asynchronous. I will go over this in a later video, including all the stuff for the persuasive speech. And the group presentation has already been updated. I'm going to spend just a tiny bit of time here just because we've already kind of gone over it, but you need to know about the new changes. You're also going to do an asynchronous format for this. And I've gone through and highlighted in blue. Well, actually Jen did. She gave me this updated sheet and I just tweaked it. But it's all highlighted in blue, what you need to know. And basically the changes are in blue, and that's all you need to know. It's the same kind of idea. You're still doing this. You'll be filling out 2 group briefings, and I've updated the briefings are the same. I've updated the group rubric and individual rubrics so that you know what's coming for those. But there are directions for how it's going to work. I'm not going to spend this entire time. I think you can all, as very mature and excellent students, can go through and read this. But this explains how you're going to do it. And there are examples of what you can do on right here. Basically, each of you is going to upload the section that you would be doing for your presentation. So if all of you, imagine that you were all in the classroom, you would each speak at one point in the presentation. Basically, you're just going to upload a recording of what you would speak on. And the only things you'll need to include are transitions. So like if one of you was the introduction and you kind of started it, you would just end your video by saying, now I want to pass it off to John. And John, you would say, thank you so much. And then John, you would then say, now I want to pass it on. And John would speak, and then he would say, now I'd like to pass it on to Molly. Again, I'm just naming random people right now. But basically, you would just do transitions at the end of each of your videos and at the beginning of your videos. So that if you were to watch each video step by step by step, in order, and Jen gives you an example of this with her daughters, you would kind of know, it would feel like a group presentation. So this way, you're actually still getting the experience and you're practicing. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Yeah, let me know if you have any more questions about that. I'm going to come back here and show you the last thing. So I've shown you everything on Blackboard. Every week there will be a folder at the top, so I'll just add one for each week, week 11, 12, 13, etc. This is where I will give you a checklist of all the things that are due for the week. You can come through and see all the things that are due, and I'm going to give you another video after this kind of explaining how to use Circuit. But this is where you'll get your weekly checklist. This is where you will upload anything you need for activities or just assignments, and I will also post the links for the lectures that I will be using. All those links will be on the YouTube channel, hopefully, unless I need to change to Blackboard for any reason, but I'm hoping to use that channel just as a space for where you can find all the stuff and let it be fun and enjoyable. I think that does it. Again, I encourage you to just come through and kind of look through this. You should know that your framework form is due on the 25th, and it will be due in Circuit. Again, I'll send another video showing you how to do that. The quiz 11 is going to be due. You're going to have a lecture, quick brief lecture for me on introducing the persuasive speech. The asynchronous speech is due this upcoming Saturday. So again, just kind of think about it as I'm jumping back into the semester, but it's just online. That's all it is. I think that's it, but if you have any questions for me, let me know. You can plop them down here. I'll probably delete these so you don't have to see these, but these are examples of what you could do. Hope you guys are hanging in there, and I will see you, quote unquote, soon.